Continuing on chapter 3 here, this is collaborating and communicating on the web, talking about the different ways that you can work with technologies to share files, share ideas, share information, and work on projects together. So there are project collaboration and file sharing tools. For example, Google Docs, if you use Google Docs or Google Slides, that allows you to work in one document or in one presentation with others. So it tracks who has changed, what in a document. It allows you to keep version history so that you have the the original document and any changes that have been made to it. Another popular place for sharing information and working collaboratively are wikis. And you're probably familiar with Wikipedia, which is probably the most well-known collaborative web-based document. It is any kind of wiki is a collaboration of multiple authors writing and modifying a particular document. So you don't just have one person as the author, you have multiple authors. Project management tools incorporate tasks and calendars so that you keep a project on schedule. So it kind of maps out what needs to be done when and helps people organize projects. And there are a couple different options for this. There's a product called Trello, which is a free project management tool. Slack is another one. It allows you to work with others, incorporates text messaging. You have the ability to share files as well as other collaborative features. A blog, which is shortened from web log, is a personal log or a journal that's posted on the web. Anyone can create one. There are millions available for you to read, to comment on. They're generally written by a single author, but they can be commented on by others. So it's a little bit different than a wiki in that the content isn't changing. The content is written by the blogger, and then others can comment and interact with the author of the blog. There are also video blogs or vlogs, which basically just means it's a similar thing. You're documenting something, but it is using video as your primary method of delivering content. Microblogs are just blogs that have a limit to the number of characters. So, for example, Twitter, where you're limited to only having 280 characters per tweet, is considered to be a microblog. Another popular way of communicating on the web is a podcast. A podcast is a series of audio or video files that are distributed over the internet. There are podcasts for shows, books, magazines, educational programs, all of which you can download or listen to with your device. Podcasts deliver their content using RSS, which stands for Really Simple Syndication. It's a format that sends the latest content of the podcast series automatically to an aggregator. So, an aggregator locates all of the RSS series to which you've subscribed, and it automatically downloads the new content. Webcast is a broadcast of audio or video over the internet. Media sharing platforms, there are many which include YouTube, Flickr, Instagram, and SoundCloud. Media sharing platforms are just social media sites that allow anyone to create and share multimedia. Instagram, is primarily a mobile app that allows you to take photos, add captions, and then upload them. YouTube allows users to upload videos on any type of content. And some videos are shared or viewed by so many people that they go viral. This is something that you're probably very familiar with. SoundCloud is a distribution platform and a music streaming service. So music enthusiasts can upload their music to share and, hopefully go viral or become discovered on that platform. Email, which is short for electronic mail, is still the primary means of communication over the internet. So it is worldwide, it's fast, it's convenient. It's also asynchronous, meaning that users do not have to be communicating at the same time. You can send and respond messages at your own convenience. So email is also a very convenient way to share files as well. So sharing attachments. One thing you want to think about is the privacy of email. Okay, it is generally a private exchange of information rather than what you would see publicly on social networking sites. But thinking that, you're purposely putting something out on a public social networking site, whereas when you're sending something via email, you're not really thinking of it as being public. But emails are really not private. Okay, you should always consider that. Emails can be printed, they can be forwarded to others you don't know. Once you send it, you don't know what happens to it afterwards. Most email content is not encrypted, so you shouldn't send personal or sensitive information, bank account numbers, social security numbers, that kind of stuff. Employers have the right to access email that is sent from the workplace. So when you are in a job, you want to think about what you are sending through your email. You want to make sure that you use caution. And also keep in mind that after you have deleted an email message, it doesn't really disappear. There are usually archives of email, so it's something that could be accessed if necessary, for a crime or if there's information that has to be accessed in the event of a lawsuit. There usually is a backup of it somewhere. There are two different types of email, web-based or desktop client, and that means that you can either access your email through web-based mail like Yahoo or Gmail, and that's managed through your browser. It allows you to access your email with an internet connection. In contrast, you could have a program which is a desktop client, such as Microsoft Outlook, where it's actually installed on your computer. So when you have it installed on your computer, when you open it, your email is then downloaded to your computer. The main difference between the two is just how you access them. So web-based email allows you to access email from any internet-connected device, whereas if you are on a desktop client, you're viewing your email on the computer on which the desktop client software has been installed. Communicating in real time. Text messaging or texting is a popular means of sending short electronic messages between two or more mobile devices. Texting uses SMS, which is short message service, for text-based messages, and MMS, which is multimedia message service, when sending images or videos. Texting uses the same cellular network that you use to send calls or make calls from your device. So you're thinking of, in the same way that you could call from your phone, when you are texting, you are actually just using written voice calling, if you will. Instant messaging, or IM, is a way of communicating in real time over the internet, and it only requires an internet connection. IMing does not use cellular data. Facebook Messenger, Google Hangouts, WhatsApp are proprietary IM services, meaning that you can only chat with those who have that same IM service. There are other services that are used specifically in the business world for quick and efficient communication, such as Cisco Jabber or Oracle Beehive. Those are developed mostly or primarily for business use. Also, voice over IP, voice over internet protocol, uses the internet to make phone calls. So apps such as Skype, FaceTime, or Google Hangouts enable users to connect using audio and video. You can conduct business online. E-commerce or electronic commerce is the product of conducting business online. Typically, e-commerce is identified by whom the business is being conducted between. So the different business models are business to consumer, BTC, B2C, which means that the transactions take place between businesses and consumers. So the transactions are usually done with completely online businesses such as Amazon, and those between customers and stores that have an online presence and also a physical presence. Businesses with an online and physical presence are referred to as click and brick businesses. So, if you think of some stores, so like Target, any kind of store like that, Walmart, allow you to purchase products online, but then you also have the ability to return them, or perhaps even pick up items in store. You could order it online and then pick it up in the actual business, the um, brick and mortar building, if you will. There's also business to business transactions, B2B, which occur when businesses buy and sell goods and services to other businesses. Then you have consumer to consumer, C to C, which are transactions that occur when consumers sell to each other. So thinking of things like Etsy, eBay, where you are selling and buying products from other consumers. You do want to follow some important safeguards when conducting business online. So, some guidelines that can help you make online transactions safer. You want to think about checking to see that the website that you are actually visiting is secure. So, if you take a look at the website at the beginning of the URL, the protocol HTTP, if it has an added layer of security, the secure socket protocol, it will have that S. So it's HTTPS colon and then the slash slash. So that stands for secure. You also want to consider making sure that you are only shopping at well-known, reputable sites. If you're not really sure if something is reputable or you haven't heard of it, you can investigate it with the Better Business Bureau or BizRate. Use common sense, okay? If it seems like it's probably too good to be true, it probably actually is. Pay by credit card versus debit card. This is important because federal laws protect credit card users, but debit card users don't have that same level of protection. So you want to make sure that you reserve using your debit card for probably in-person transactions only. You can also have an extra layer of security by checking to see if your credit card company confirms your identity with an extra password or passcode, which makes online transactions another layer, it's just one more layer safer. So you can also consider using something like PayPal or Apple Pay, where there's another additional layer of security. It's important to check the return policy, make sure that you receive confirmation numbers, that you understand the warranties and return policies when you're dealing with something online. And also, when you are purchasing things, make sure that you are not doing that on a public computer. You specifically should be doing any business online on your own network.